now we have the GUI ready that we can enter the number in, right? But when after enter the numbers, we need to make an event, right, to make sure that it's going to store a number into array. So once it start a number into array, then I can use the sort array method that passing arrays, and this logic is going to starting for me, right, and return the sorted array back. Okay, like I said, logic to do this, I already have the video for that, so you can watch those, right? So I'm not going to cover here. So after sort return back, then I display the output. So that is the rest of the work that we have to do inside sort GUI, right? So now I can decide I want to add a button to have, say, sort, or I can do like event listener to the key when I hit enter, right? So if I do key listener, I have to put in the text field or somehow. Now I'm going to, since there are many text fields, then it's going to take a little bit challenge, like how when you want to start to sort, or you sort right away every key that I enter in. Could do that too, right? So let's see if I can add that into text field. So now I'm going to make the event to the text field, right, to make it listen to the action when I enter. So text field, each text field is going to add the event, right? Text field dot add. It's going to be an array, right? Each of that, this is an array. Add set action, set on action right there. And then you need to know, I'm going to add an action. So now text field can listen to user action now. Well, we need to know what type of event it's going to handle. But we know that in JavaFX make it very simple, like you can just do e dash. It's going to add events for you. Now you can do whatever you need. Like after I do that, it's going to store into an array. I can just say I need to create a list, right? Then I can pass that into sort array. So let's create a list here. Like when I read in an array, it's an array of string. Let's say list, which is an array of list, a numbered list. And we have equals to new string. We have to specify the size, which we already have that right down here, which we have to move it up. Alright, so we have size and list. So every time when user entered, it's going to put the values from text field. And how do you get the value from text field? You just do dot get text, right? Now we store that into array. Right, so let's see what happened to I. Oh, it's I is here. So it's just want us to do what is final. It's not incrementable. So I want to refer to each item. To solve this problem, pretty much we can just create a local variables to do this again. In I equal to 0 because of scope. I less than list dot length, and then I plus plus. So now let's see, it may say because we already have I equal to 0 here. Alright, so that one actually do add to the text. I will try to add action listener for each text field. So we can just say J then. And just use this as J. Otherwise confusing which one is which one. Alright, so we can get, because scope I is not valid inside new curve basis here. I create a new variables here to increase. Now we can make action to each of this. Every time when we enter, it's stored into an array. Now, when it's stored, I could make it even like pop up the sort at the end, right? So let's see if I do that. I want to create an alert light text box here equals to new alert, and this requires you to give the type alert type dot information. So now I give the type to information. So now I need to import alert. So this is just created a dialog box to show it's sorted. But I don't think I like that because it's going to keep popping up every time. It's annoying to a user every time I enter. So I'm going to actually add another label instead and make it show the sorted outcome. And I already have border pin. I can make that to the south with the same font size. So let me do that here. Label and sorted list equals to new label, and this is pretty much just an empty list. Maybe it just is sorted list. So this is now is going to add to the border pane. What? So border pane can just do set to the bottom and set the sorted list. And we want to get the same font style, so I'm going to do sorted list dot set font to the same font style. Alright, so now we have sorted list that we can just keep adding the new list whenever user enter in. Whenever a user enter in, I want to keep calling it to sort. So I'm going to call the sort array, right? Sort array, which is already have the method to take the argument like parameters. I mean, the string of scores, which is the list here, right? String of array here. So I'm going to say it's static. So it's sort array dot. So this is how we integrate the code here, right? Sort and pass the list in. So it should return a sorted. It's return a list that is sorted, which at this point I can just put it into my sorted list label dot set text. Every time when it's sorted, it's going to update my sorted list, right? And this is going to be returning an array. So it's just returning an array, so I need to specify the index of my array that's returns. So let's test. So we got sorted list. So let's say 6. So I'm going to enter. Alright, so now we have to think about on action now. So it looks like the on action E. We want to test if it's really do all this work, right? So by whenever get in there, I want to see if it's printing the statement. Like maybe I want to print the test with the value of. Let's just see the first one for now. So enter number. So it seems like throw an exceptions here. Okay, so it start from I call the I see. You're just not supposed to have text in there. I see sort array. So let's break down this code a little bit. Okay. So when I call this, it's supposed to return a new array, right? Which is sorted. Or yeah, this is going to be a sorted array. So I'm going to. So you enter text into sort. So let's declare a new list here to use string array sorted list equals to new string. So it's going to return a sorted list here. Since it's going to return an array, I don't really need to declare. I mean, I could declare, but I don't need to create a size because it's going to return the size that I need back. String. What happened again? Sorted list is label. That's correct. So I'm not talking about sorted list here. I'm talking about. Yeah, it happened to be the same name. Fix that. Okay, S list then. So S list just returns that back. So S list is supposed to be final. That's why I can make it final. Then we can access to that. It's the scope here. It's not accessing to it because I have to make it as an attribute in that case. So this is just all about the scope. Because it's been enclosing here, it wants me to just create it every time inside. That's fine because this is like temp anyway. I can just call temp list to return back temp list, and I start to set the text, right? Set the text, which let's think we'll give the sorted when to set the text. Let's think about that. The error actually no part exception because I'm going to sort every time, but the list happen to be there's no second one. When I enter only one item into the list, there's no, yeah, like this. When it's go to J, like J equals +1, that's why it's no exception.